Hello, Rama Popote. Hope all are in good health, feeling great, wonderful, having a happy and peaceful life. Now let's continue with the next part. I come at last to a street where the houses are large and well built, and where the compounds are spacious and trimly kept. I quicken my pace until I reach a gate upon whose post the name Vishuddhananda is inscribed on a stone tablet. I enter the compound, for this is the house which I seek, and approach someone who lounges on the veranda. He is a young man with an unintelligent face. I ask him in Hindustani, where is the teacher? But he shakes his head and gives me to understand that no such person is known here. I utter the teacher's name, but again receive a negative reply. The result is disappointing, but I am determined not to be beaten. An inward monitor warns me that the young man thinks no European can possibly have any business here, and that he has jumped to the conclusion I am really seeking some other house. I look again at his face and write him down as stupid. Ignoring his gesticulations, I walk straight into the house. In an inner room, I come upon a semicircle of dark faces. A group of well dressed Indians squat around the floor. A bearded old man reclines upon a couch at the far end of the room. His venerable appearance and seat of honor are enough to inform me that here is the object of my quest. I raise my hands in salutation, palms touching. Peace, master. I make the conventional Hindustani greeting. I proffer my introduction and present myself as a writer traveling in India, yet withal a student of their native philosophy and mysticism. I make it clear that the disciple whom I encountered was careful to explain that his teacher never made a public exhibition of his wonderful powers, and that even under the shadow of privacy, he rarely displayed them to strangers. Nevertheless, in view of my deep interest in their ancient wisdom, I carve their indulgence and beg to be treated as an exception. The students stare blankly at each other and then turn towards the teacher, as if in wonderment at his response. Vishuddhananda is a man of more than 70 years of age, I judge. A short nose and a long beard adorn his face. I am struck by the large size of his eyes, which are deeply pouched. The sacred thread of a Brahmin hangs around his neck. The old man fixes his eyes coldly upon me as though I were a specimen to be studied under a microscope. I feel something weird and uncanny touch my heart. Indeed, some strange force seems to pervade the whole room, and I feel slightly uneasy. At length, he addresses some words in a dialect which I recognize as Bengali to a disciple, who turns and informs me that no audience can be granted unless I bring Pandit Kavich, who is principal of the government Sanskrit college, to act as interpreter. The Pandit's perfect knowledge of English, combined with his long standing as a disciple of Vishuddhananda, perfectly fits him to act as a medium between us. Come with him tomorrow afternoon, says the teacher. I shall expect you at the hour of 4. I am forced to retreat. On the road, I hail a passing carriage and drive through the winding streets to the Sanskrit College. The principal is not there. Someone thinks he may be at home, so I drive on for another half hour until I find him at last in a tall ancient house with a projecting upper story, whose appearance is strangely like that of a medieval Italian building. The Pandit sits on the floor of a top room, surrounded on every side by small hills of books, papers, and scholastic paraphernalia. He has the Brahmin's typical high brow, thin long nose, and lighter complexion. His face is refined and scholarly. I explain my errand. There is a slight hesitation on his part, and then he agrees to accompany me next day. The appointment fixed. I withdraw. Let's continue the next chapter. Thank you. Bye bye. Rama Rama Pupodu.